Hello, Cynthia Tish here from Recharge Clinic with Dr. Tish. Coffee Talk with Dr. Tish. So, summer is maybe just getting started for some people, but here in Ocala, we're actually coming to the end. It's the middle of July and the kids are going back to school at the beginning of August. Where did it go? It's definitely
Blink.
hot. It's definitely hot outside though.
And yeah,
It's a little hot.
very hot.
The weather's
Hot.
been good.
Definitely
I am
hot.
not complaining. I like it. Do you like it?
No,
Why?
it's too hot.
Too hot?
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's as hot as it's gonna get, is it?
Yes.
I don't even know what it is outside, but I like it.
The sun.
Yeah, it's good. It's really not really been raining much. No?
Daily.
Has it been raining? I don't know.
Daily.
Whatever.
Wow.
Okay.
You need to get out more. Get your nose out of the computer.
Up at work because someone's a slave driver. Doc over here.
Good.
Yeah. So, we always start out talking about weight loss, especially since we've all had to be basically almost naked walking around outside because of the heat and, putting our bikinis on. That's always a reality check.
Yes.
Or if you're going bikini shopping, it's like, that's cute. Then you're in the dressing room. You're like, when's winter coming?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm ready again. So, for a weight loss tip, we've talked about working out. I believe in working out. And I always tell the patients, we're putting you on low calorie. That's going to help, of course. You're burning these calories during the day. You're not eating a whole lot. So that deficit there is really going to help with weight loss. But boy, would working out speed that up. So the problem is not everyone thinks working out is fun. I think working out is fun. Do you think working out is fun?
Absolutely not.
But you've been doing it really
I've been doing
well.
it.
Just time out what I was saying. He has been doing amazing working out. Amazing.
You want me to give him a gunshot?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh boy. All right, that's enough. That's enough.
Oh, I don't want to scare
Don't get anyone excited.
Like
He is really, it's impressive. You've been like committed, killing it every day. You can really see some big changes. Yeah, doing good. How do you feel? Do you feel good?
I'm mostly sore every day, honestly. So I can't say I really feel better, but I feel better about the way I look. And because every day I keep pushing myself a little bit harder, I've been really actually trying to work out really hard. So,
Yes.
which is for me a big thing because I used to
is.
work out when I was younger. Then I just basically took about a 30-year gap.
30-year break.
30-year break just to see if I really wanted to work out again. And now, so I've committed now. And now I really did. So since the beginning of the year, I started working out every other day. Now I'm working out every day. I have a trainer, and I have him push me pretty hard so that I almost want to throw up every day at the end of
Good.
the workout.
That means you're working out hard.
And even though I complain, he still keeps me going. So I do give him kudos for that because I am a little bit of a whiner. And
Yeah.
I don't want to do things. But so he does. I mean, so that's good. And I have seen big gains. Other people have seen big gains. I'm not trying to become a bodybuilder, but I do want to get in really good shape at this point in my life and stay in good shape. And I know it's possible because I know I have a lot of patients who are in good shape, and you see it. And so it's part of the whole deal: eating good, being in good shape, feeling good, and
Well, we want everyone to eat good, and something that is your struggle. I mean, yeah, you never wanted to work out, but also you're a little bit of a snacker, and you
I am.
really like to eat, really. And everyone likes to eat. I like to eat too, but that is something that's been a struggle for you. But since you've been getting in really, really good shape, I've noticed that now you've really tried to eat better, just because I think the way you're getting in shape has been motivating you.
It has, and I see that it's so hard work for me working out and to see gains that it's so easy to take them away with just a snack that I don't really get a tremendous amount of pleasure out of. I mean, I eat them, but if 2 minutes later I don't know. And I would be a grazer. I would eat all night, 1,000 calories of snacks easily. And the same thing with ice cream. And so I don't really feel any better doing it. I'm not usually hungry, so now I've been trying to just drink a protein shake, which I convince myself is delicious and tastes like ice cream. So
Well, try freezing it. Have you ever tried freezing it?
No.
I don't know if it would freeze. I don't know. I'm just
yeah, I
guessing.
probably won't, but I don't want to know. But anyway, it works. It works, and then it's what I've been doing, and so it's been better, and that's it. And I've been doing it enough that now it's becoming a little bit more of a habit. And when I do backslide, I feel miserable, actually. And so, which is what I tell people they will feel, and they do. Like for me, I had some ice cream, and I felt bad afterwards. So I had a stomach ache, I had a runny nose, sore throat, and felt fatigued. And, you know, that was a daily event for me. So I don't like that
Yeah,
feeling
that's just the
anymore.
way you used to live. Now you feel good. That's good.
And
Yeah.
clothes fit better. I've actually gone down quite a few sizes in my clothes. And so that's,
And not even so much just the scale has been moving. It's really been inches because you're working out really hard. So
Yeah.
the scale has been moving slowly, but that's not even the big thing. You're really losing a lot of inches and just changing the whole
I mean,
shape
for me,
of your
my body habitus was I didn't have a big butt. I had a big gut, and that was it. And it was, you know, it was just, anyway. So that's going away. And
Yeah.
so that's a big improvement for me.
Yeah,
I can bend over and tie my shoes without, you know, gasping for breath.
yeah.
So,
Well, good. Yeah, he's doing great. He's doing so great
oh boy.
that yesterday, him and one of our paramedics decided to do some push-ups. It was a little employee challenge, actually, but they did some push-ups in the break room, and that video was so funny and cool looking that I posted it. I think it's on Facebook, but it's definitely on Instagram. And I did a little poll on Instagram. I just keep taking it to the next level. So I'm like, not only am I going to post this, I'm going to do a poll. Like, what do you guys think? Who did these push-ups better, Chase or Dr. Tish? So right now, I'll double check to confirm, but you are in the lead. Quite a few people have voted. Uh-oh, maybe it's off my story now. Oh, wait, no, there it is. Hold on. Okay, so 43% said Chase did it better. 57% said that you did the push-ups better. I think that's going to be up there for, I don't know, I think
Let's
it
just
goes
stop
off
it now.
tonight.
Yeah, let's just stop
it now?
Yeah. I mean, I'm
It's-
ahead. Stop, of course.
I think it has a couple more hours before the poll ends. So get on Instagram and vote if
Yeah,
you
the
want.
real question is how many people in my family voted for me and how many people voted against me?
Well, I don't know if
I
you
know my
guys know.
daughter voted against me.
When you do these polls on Instagram, the person who put the poll on, can see exactly who you voted for. So I can see who voted for you. Yeah, Bella
Voted against me.
voted for Chase, but Lauren voted for you.
That's good.
And let's see. Yeah, I don't know what other family may have voted. Oh, Cammie. Oh, Cammie voted for Chase, our neighbor.
Wow.
Cammie Potapal, I'm calling you out.
Yes.
She voted for Chase. A few other people, yeah. So, but you are winning, and that's what counts. That's what counts.
Shockingly.
So, something else that I posted on on Instagram, but it will be on Facebook too. So, Recharge. I know I have to get back to the weight loss thing, but I got sidetracked. Maybe I have ADD. So we have a secret handshake at Recharge. Do you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay. And I posted a little short video of August and Bella doing the handshake and said, if you come in next Thursday, July 19th, and do this handshake when you're checking out, you get $20 off. That's more than half of a super fat burner shot.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good deal. Yeah. Yep.
Is it posted so that people know it?
It's on Instagram.
Okay.
It's on our story, and it's on our page on Instagram. And it is shared to Facebook, but I don't know. I'll have to make sure
Do
that
you
you
know
guys
it?
can see it. Yeah. You want to do it?
Yeah.
I think I know it. I'm pretty sure I know it.
All right.
But the last word changed to
I didn't know
recharge.
there was a word.
Okay. So I think it's
No, you
right.
punch.
Oh, I always forget that part.
Punch.
This. No.
Oh, you grab it.
We do know our secret
No, you
handshake.
go like this.
It's like this,
Boom.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
start over.
yeah.
We're starting over.
Okay.
This, then this, then this, and then this. So that's the handshake. If you come in next Thursday, you get $20 off whatever service
And they don't
you're
have to
getting.
say anything at the end.
Oh, it's Recharge.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We should show them again
Okay.
to make sure. So is this a fist pump?
Yes.
Fist pump, back, like slapping each other's hands, grab it, then do a little pull there, and then recharge, showing your guns. And August made that up. So
Kudos to her.
Yeah, she did great, and I know she's totally embarrassed that I made her make a video of it
And post it.
and post it. And now everyone's gonna come in and do her handshake for her.
Good.
Yeah, yeah,
That's good. We
Yeah.
like to humiliate people.
yes,
Since I'm usually the brunt of it.
yeah, yep. So, anyways, back to working out is with weight loss. So, working out is going to really help. As you can see, it helps change your whole body. And if you're trying to lose weight, all of those calories you're burning when you're working out are going to help you lose weight even faster. But the problem is, what kind of workout? So, like Dr. T, she doesn't like to work out. And he's not going to go take a bunch of classes. So, he has a trainer. But that trainer is what did it, right? That was the key for you to get you to work out. So, that's an option. Another option is what I like is classes. I love taking classes because I used to teach them, and I just love classes. I like dancing. I like any kind of classes. If it's got music, I don't know why, that's just more fun for me. So you have to find something that you actually like to do. Walking on the treadmill is freaking boring. If you like it, great. Maybe you do, I don't know what, play on your phone. If I have to do cardio like that, I'm going to play on my phone, but it makes time go by fast. But what I have found over the years is if you can find a workout that you actually like and look forward to, then you're going to keep doing it longer. Also, if you're going to be going to a gym, finding a gym that's actually closer to your house is going to help. If you choose a gym that's 30 minutes away and totally not on your way home or anything, then you're probably less likely to go. So finding something convenient, finding something that you like to do, and the third thing is having a partner. So, I'm not the biggest CrossFit fan, mainly because a lot of people get injured with it. If you're careful, it's not going to happen. If you are not so competitive, you can do it and get in great shape without getting injured. But the thing about CrossFit, which they have down, is it's almost like a freaking cult. But it's a good thing because if you don't come, they're calling you. They want to know where you are. You better get back in here. So they are like that workout family that you need to keep you in line and in check and coming in. So getting a partner to work out with you, even if it's not at CrossFit, is the third thing that I think is going to help you continue to work out, is someone holding you accountable to meet up with them to work out. All right, we're going to go to break and then we'll talk about more fun stuff. Hello, Cynthia from Recharge Clinic with Dr. Tish here. So I just pulled up our Facebook page, our live video, and of course one of our favorite patients, Val, was commenting some funny stuff.
What'd she say?
I love it. All kinds of fun stuff. I'll let you see. But what she said, bend over. I'm not really sure what that meant. Maybe bend over in the handshake?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where we're going with that.
Then someone said we should get 40% off for doing that handshake. Well, if you can come in and do it right, you get $20. And I don't know what that equals out to. It depends on your service. But actually, August did want to add a squat in there. She's like, oh, people are going to do this? Well, this is way too easy. We need to add like a squat or something. But it was getting a little crazy, so I just kept it simple. Yeah. So we thought it would be interesting to talk about a couple experiences we've had with some patients, success stories, but really we think that you guys could relate to some of these things, and they're interesting, especially when you hear this happened to someone and that we have. So one thing, let's talk about how we had a patient a couple months ago come in, and he had been getting one type of therapy, the acoustic wave therapy was it for ED?
Yep.
Then he wanted to come to us and get the P shot. So of course, okay, yeah, sure. let's get the P shot. Now, he wasn't getting that acoustic wave therapy with us. It was somewhere else in a different city. So he said, hey, can we do this? Can I get this P shot from you guys? Of course. So we were going to do the P shot, and Dr. Chief said, has anyone looked at your testosterone or anything like that? No. I don't get it. Why wouldn't someone have done that, right?
Well, it's amazing. I always want to talk to people. I hadn't talked to him originally when he scheduled this appointment, and I always want to talk to people to find out what's going on with them, what's bothering them. How can we, as opposed to just being a technician and just going and doing some procedure that they think that they want or know that they want. And so I kind of do a little history on them and say what's going on. And so in your workup, what have people done? And it turns out no one had done anything. They just said, okay, we're going to treat you with this and that. And so, when you look at either erectile dysfunction, low libido, in erectile dysfunction, it's a very common thing that happens to guys. It's about 50% of guys experience it at some point during their life. Certainly, as we get a little older, we experience it more, but young guys do too. And there's various forms. I mean, there's the kind where people just think about it. Well, I don't have ED because I can get an erection. Well, there is times when people don't get an erection at all. That's one type. More commonly that we see is partial erections. They can get an erection, but it doesn't maintain, or they start having sex or doing some kind of activity and they lose that. And so that's the most common one that we see. It's not just complete problem or complete inability to have an erection, but it's the partial thing. And so when people have that, they don't really know if that qualifies. They're going, well, I don't really have that, because it's like having a flat tire. Well, I don't really have a flat tire. I just have a slow leak. And so that's kind of what it is. And so that's the most common one that we see. Anyway, back to what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that have slow leaks. And so they don't know what to do. They're uncomfortable discussing it or whatever. But anyway, this person, was going and getting this treatment and was going to have a lot of treatment all around about, and asking, hey, the most common cause of erectile dysfunction in men is not all medical problems. In fact, those are low. It's testosterone. And testosterone levels. So I said, hey, have you ever had your testosterone level checked? No one's even mentioned that. And so that's like, so it's like they were going around about going for all of these kind of very expensive, elaborate treatments with not even going to the one that's the most common. So most likely their treatment would never really be very successful because they hadn't fixed the underlying problem. Now, when you find out that these problems are there, you correct them. Most of the time, the underlying problem goes away, or it may only require a little bit of treatment, as opposed to full-blown treatment.
Because sometimes people do need these other treatments. That's why we offer them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, even though we fix the testosterone, sometimes you do need a little bit more. But a lot of times, no. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. Or they
just want the treatments to improve things.
And
so that's the other
do that
thing, is
too.
when you're doing treatments to improve the quality of your erections or improve the sensation or improve any of that, that's a different thing than when you are... Because you're doing it under a different mindset. At least you know where you are and that you've been kind of repaired, and then you go on. As opposed to not really knowing what's going on and just sort of wandering aimlessly through this treatment field and having stuff done for you. So yeah, that's one. I see that fairly frequently. So that's something I wanted to talk to people about. If you're getting treatments and for any kind of thing, and you haven't just kind of done the basics, look at the basic, things like that, then that's something that you need to do. And we'd be happy to do that and kind of guide you through the process. It's a simple stepwise process to help fix this. And so if someone is saying, well, I'm going to take you to step B, another one is that people like to do what we call IC, intracavernous, which is an injection into the penis to cause erections. And that's kind of for people who have ED that don't respond typically to anything else. And there are some clinics that love to sell this medication because they make a good amount of money on it. So they will say, oh, you have ED here, you need these shots, you need these shots, you need these shots. And there are a percentage of people that need them, certainly, but again, the same thing. Many of them have never had the basic treatment, and they might not need that stuff if they went to step A, B, C, and then they went to D. And if you just go to D, well, yeah. If you have a shop that only has D, that's the only thing that you can offer is D, and that's it. And that's
D.
the problem. D. Yeah, I'm using
Ironically,
D.
D.
Ironically, it's D.
The D.
The D. Anyway, so that's one type of therapy, and it's one kind of problem that I see frequently. So there's another one that I see quite a bit, and it all revolves around low thyroid. And so many people have these symptoms. You know, I have trouble losing weight. I am tired all the time. My skin is dry. I am constipated. My hair is falling out like gobs in the shower. I went to my doctor. They said everything is fine. And if I hear that 5 times a day, everything is fine. They told me everything is fine. And in fact, just recently I saw a patient who told me that she had struggled with this for 2 years. 2 years, had put on almost 20 pounds, hair coming out in gobs, works out, eats a really low calorie diet, and was told twice, not once, but twice, by her primary that her labs were normal, and in fact they were kind of high, so there was no way that there was anything wrong. So she was pretty desperate. I mean, actually even tearful. You know, she came with her husband, and so we started going through her labs, and her testosterone, I mean, her not testosterone, her testosterone was low, but her thyroid was markedly low. Even the ones that they told her were high were not even low. The person, whoever read them, couldn't even read what their considered normal ranges were. And they were off the chart low ranges on both of them. And then when you throw into the mix, because thyroid is basically symptom-based more than lab-based, even though there's a range. You know, if you're being a provider and totally ignoring someone's symptoms and just looking at their labs, there's no point in you giving them any information. You might as well just say, here are your labs, look at them, you're fine. I got nothing to say. And so you're not really being what a doctor is meant to do, is to take these labs, take the patient's symptoms, put them together, and come up with a plan to solve the problem. Totally different than just saying, I'm a passer honor of labs. That's all I'm doing. You know?
I know.
I mean, that's a robot. And what's
don't get
unfortunately
that.
happening is robots are doing it.
Yes.
Doctors feel like mid-levels are taking over their care. Mid-levels, that's what mid-levels mostly do, unfortunately, because that's their training level. So, you know, anyway, so this patient, you know, when I told her that her thyroid was really low and that we needed to put her on thyroid, was like happy. I mean, most people you would think would be unhappy that they're finding out that they have a medical problem, but she was happy because she knew in her heart and her body that something was wrong, and she had been kind of led astray. And so that's one. That probably happens 4 or 5 times a day. There was another person that we had, a couple of years ago, who walked into the clinic, and I think it was on a Saturday morning, and actually came in with his spouse, basically stumbled in, could not even really walk. And
This story is crazy. And I know he would come on here. He said he would come on here and talk about it one day.
He and we will probably bring him on. And he came in and he could barely walk, shuffling gait, you know. And he was not an old person. Came down and really was unintelligible to talk to when he was trying to give me his story. I mean, it was like and I didn't know what was wrong with him. And his wife was like, "This is not my husband. I don't know what's wrong with him." And he had already been to see some doctors, see some neurologists, had a CAT scan, had an MRI. They told him that maybe he had a stroke, maybe he had this. You know, he was a vibrant person, actually very successful, owned several large businesses. But I could not hardly understand anything that he was saying. He really had a very difficult time talking. And I don't remember exactly if we had his labs at the time of evaluation or we sent him for labs. Something makes me think that we had his labs.
No,
we didn't.
He got his labs drawn with us that night or that day. Because I remember you called him and you were like, when you saw the labs, you were like, how is he functioning?
Yeah. So when I saw his labs, he basically had 0 thyroid. I mean, his levels were almost 0, which is almost requiring hospitalization. Now, the point was that you know, he had several significant environmental exposures in his life. He had been in the military and had exposures that he didn't even know. Agent Orange, all other kinds of stuff. Didn't really know. Probably affected his thyroid. But then he did a special kind of home inspections that he inspected for certain type of molds and chemicals, and really he had did this advanced inspecting business that he had and had been exposed to other stuff as well. My point is with this is not that he developed this. The point is he had gone through several physicians and several tertiary centers, referral centers, and they focused on the obvious, the fact that he couldn't talk and this and that, and gave him a CAT scan. No one did a basic blood profile on him. His thyroid was 0. I called him. I gave him some thyroid medicine. Honestly, within 1 hour, he said he started feeling like a different person. And if you saw this person today, he would be unrecognizable to what he was before. This guy has more energy than most 10-year-olds. He is super talkative, does not have any speech problems, is totally clear. He grew a full head of hair. He basically had just a couple of sprigs of gray hair on his head. His color of his skin changed from gray to being normal. He's lost weight. I mean, it's
It's
a
life-changing
life-altering thing for him.
is an understatement. I remember he told me that he had some videos, because he does a lot of videos for his business, on his website, and even lost some accounts because they thought that he was drunk because he was slurring his words in these videos. So once he came to us, got fixed, stopped talking that way, he was told, you need to remove these videos. They are hurting your business because people think you're drunk making these videos. You need to remake these now that you're talking normal. I mean, and that's not the only person we've seen really lethargic from this, but this was such an extreme story. It's
Yeah, he was
crazy.
the extreme. We've had some others,
Crazy.
and we've had another person who was bedridden, basically. The interesting thing about these people who have these significant problems is it's not that they live in the bushes out or in the forest and they don't get any care. You're like, okay, well, that's somebody who lives in a dumpster. They don't get care. Of course, these things are going to happen. Most of these people have gone to doctor one after another after another. Their families have taken them everywhere, and they've gotten some kind of hodgepodge diagnosis, put on some kind of medicine, put on another medicine, put on another medicine, and before you know it, they're on 10 different medicines. So there was another person. There are 2 people that stick out in my mind who, not thyroid this time. So we've had a testosterone, we've had a thyroid. There's been a lot of thyroid ones, but have had adrenal stress. And adrenal stress to the point that they needed to be treated with hydrocortisone, low-dose hydrocortisone. 2 people completely bedridden, unable to function, slept all day, basically slept all day, all morning, all afternoon, get up, take a pain pill, because they all had pain, told you have fibromyalgia, you have depression, you have this, you have that. Go get x-rays, nothing's really wrong. Go get a CAT scan, go get this, get all kinds of workups, nothing. And are on, 10 different medicines, because basically when you go to a doctor's office and you're complaining about stuff and they can't figure it out, they have to do something, so they give you a script. I got to shut this person up. I got to make them seem like I'm doing something, even though I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I'm going to give them a script. And so those persons dutifully try it because they are, in fact, desperate. And now if they don't stop it, they're afraid to stop it because maybe it might help. So now they've just added that other medicine on to their whole, pile. So seeing these people, it took a little bit to figure out what was going on with them. Checked thyroids, checked all their hormones, and then, put them on some adrenal supplements, and then really went to the next level, continuing to have this persistent, severe fatigue. Put them on low-dose hydrocortisone, which is the treatment for that. And it's a remarkable treatment. It works quite amazingly in these people. I mean, dramatic, really within days, out of bed, resuming normal activity, started losing weight, would not go out to dinner. I mean,
It's like a rebirth.
It was a rebirth. This person's husband had a successful business, required them to go to a lot of dinners, go to functions, could not go to any of them. Could not stay awake. So it was going into them. Basically, the last time I saw them, they had gone as a family trip to the islands, where she couldn't wait to go because they hadn't done anything as a family as far as a vacation in years, and had gone. The whole family went to the Bahamas or something, and we're doing all kinds of activities. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. And it was really kind of cool to see that happen in these people who had gotten this treatment and had such a dramatic response, because they're so desperate. They're so desperate, and they feel so bad. And it's just really for lack of looking is really what I'm saying. It's not that I'm doing anything magical. It's really just listening and then trying to put the pieces to the puzzle.
Not just listening, because these other MDs or PAs or whoever, they are looking at the labs and listening, but they're just, I guess, uneducated. They don't know. I mean, you're listening, but you have the knowledge to listen and correct it, but they don't even know because they must be listening. They hear the people complaining. They're looking at the labs, but they still can't figure it out. So it's not just listening.
Well-
It's you
Well, I
have
can
researched and
Yeah.
studied so much on this.
Yeah, that's true. Because if you do look under the causes of all these things, on the low end of all of these things, or what the things that I'm in, and so what people don't really have any experience in treating it, so they go, "Ooh,
Yes.
it's probably pretty rare, and therefore I'm not really seeing a person that has that. Therefore, I'm not going to, dive into doing that. Secondly, I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do it. As opposed to, most patients that say, listen, I don't really know what to do, but we can try this. It's pretty safe. They're more than willing to try it because they're trying your other stupid medicines that are not safe.
They have
And
no
so-
life right now.
Yeah.
And there are some people who don't believe in adrenal stress.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot.
There is no believing or not believing. We've seen it.
Yeah.
It is real. It's real.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, when you go to any functional medicine thing, that's the basis of all of the talks. There's, it's all mitochondrial stuff, which is damage to people at a cellular level and deficiency at a cellular level. There's no doubt. It's honestly, when you kind of start doubting it and even talking it, you would probably be like a retard there, honestly, because that's not even like a discussion now of talking
No.
about. That's like basic information now.
Right.
And now you're going on to more advanced things of trying to find peptides and all other kinds of things to do anti-aging and repair people and micronutrients and vitamins and antioxidants. I mean, it's so sophisticated that to just say, to just see traditional medicine wallow in stuff and make mistakes is sad, really, because they're missing the boat. Yes, they are taking care of a lot of people's blood pressure and cholesterol, but that's only a small portion of what is ailing people, because there's the whole next level of quality of life, improvement of life quality, and stuff like that. I mean, one of the main things that we do is weight loss, and that's a huge problem. We know that's an epidemic. It's as bad as the narcotic epidemic. Obesity is just rampant. And, we have people who are desperate to try and lose weight. We're trying to help them. And many of them just merely need to curb their eating. And that works good for a lot of people. But there's always the second and third tier of these patients who have desperately tried over and over again to lose weight and have tried dieting and have tried these things, but don't. Those are the people. Those are the people who need that next level of workup. Not to just be saying, well, you're just going to be big. You're a big bone person. Our family's big bone, blah, blah, blah. Or get kind of discarded. They're the ones that get discouraged, and they're the ones that get bigger and bigger because they've given up. But when you look at their labs and really come up with a plan and really stick with them and go, okay, listen, let's try this. Okay, no, let's try this. And it requires some determination on their part. They will lose. They will lose. We have had so many patients lose a minimum of 50 pounds. We've got a lot of 100-pounders. It's not 30 pounds is nothing anymore. We used to think, wow, we had a 30-pounder. 30 pounds is nothing now. And so those are significant numbers for people to lose. Those are life-altering numbers. I mean, you talk about 50 pounds. That's a bag of dog food that you are carrying around on your shoulder or around your waist day in and day out. Go to the store now and grab one and walk around that supermarket with it on right now. You'll be dead tired by the time. And guess what? You wonder why you're tired? Because you've been walking around with it for your whole life. Some people are walking around with 2 of them on, and they wonder why they're tired. Well, of course you're tired. You have no reason not to be tired. Your joints have to hurt. You've got to feel miserable. You have to feel miserable with that. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, my point is, everyone that has these things are out there, and they're, if you feel like they can't be fixed, well, you're wrong. Thyroid, adrenal, these things affect 50 to 70% of the population. And it's not just because of, hereditary stuff. It is because of the stuff that we are exposed to on a daily basis in the environment, whether it's plastic bottles. It was funny, I had a patient who was very well educated because we're drinking out of plastic here, even though I rail against it. And I said, can I give you a bottle of water? He goes, no, I refuse to drink out of plastic. And he was that adamant. And I applauded him because he at least knew that stuff has got a lot of breakdown products and the plastics that are in all of our food and all of the other stuff like Roundup, which brings me to another topic. But
that's a whole nother topic.
Whole other topic.
Yeah.
And so anyway, these things are repairable. These hormone imbalances are environmentally induced and stress induced. Our phones induce them. So if you're feeling like these things are having an effect on you, guess what? They are. They are. There's no doubt. There's studies that prove them over and over again. Using your phone at night causes problems. No doubt.
Something you said, picking up a bag of dog food, 50 pounds, that reminded me, if you are on our Facebook page later when we're done with the show, go through. I have the cutest little video or picture or both of my dad who lost 100 pounds with us on this diet plan and hormone therapy, picking up my daughter. So he picked up his granddaughter, and she's 100 pounds ish, and picked her straight up and thought, wow, that's how much weight I lost. It's huge. So of course we took a picture and put it on Facebook. So look at that, because it's super, super cute. And it's just crazy to think that that's what he was carrying around every day.
Another person. Another
human. That is really, really crazy. And he is feeling amazing, and he looks like a totally different person now. Totally different person. Actually, he looks so different that people, again, they don't believe that it's the same person. They look at it and they said, that's not the same person. And to me, it is the same person, but then if you look, they actually do look pretty different. Like, maybe it's not the same person. It is the same person, but believe us, we would never do that. We're going to go to a break, and then we'll come back and talk a little more. Hello, Cynthia Teach here with Dr. Teach from Recharge Clinic in Ocala. So, before we go on to this next subject, we want to talk about B12 deficiencies. But first, because I know we're going to run out of time before we know it, July 19th, this Thursday, the same day that you can come in and do our handshake for $20 off that day, that night, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Ivy House Boutique, which is right beside the Marion Theater.
Right downtown.
Right downtown on the freaking cutest street in Ocala.
Yep.
Really. The bricks and just the theater and I mean, it's just adorable. Anyway, I just like just walking down there. Anyways, so at that night from 6 to 8, we are doing basically like a sip and shop kind of thing. Ivy House is going to make some like cheese dip and some little, I don't know, sangria or something, some little drink they're telling me about. And you can shop in the boutique. And then Dr. Teach will be there because we actually have an exam room there. It's right near the register. If you go there, go check it out. So he's going to be doing Dysport and Botox that night, but we're going to have amazing specials. So you can just pre-purchase them that night and then schedule them at our main clinic for another time. Specials on Restylane, specials on Botox, Dysport, specials on PRP facials, specials on our PRP male shot and the PRP female shot. Some people refer them as the O shot and the P shot. We call it the male shot and the V shot. So specials on that. Oh, I have a thread lift special for lips. What else do I have? I have a lot of specials that night. So these specials are going to be so good. We want people to RSVP, and we've had so many people RSVP, and I was telling everyone, you have to come that night. If you want these specials, you got to come. But I am going to allow people to come to our main clinic during the day and get some of these specials, because I think it's going to be cray-cray. I think that we're going to actually have a lot of people there, which is a wonderful thing, not complaining. But I'm going to open it up and let people come by the main clinic that night. If they can't make it, they can come by the main clinic that day and pre-purchase those specials if they can't make it that night. And then, but we hope that you come out that night and enjoy it. It'll be a fun time. We'll do some consultations. We'll talk. We'll explain stuff. So if you've got questions about these
And
aesthetic
Cynthia will
procedures,
do some signings of her whatever.
what?
You'll do some signings, you know. if
Sign like my autograph?
Your autograph.
Oh yeah. Okay. This guy.
It's funny.
Don't mess up.
He's funny.
We're coming into the later hours. You don't
Oh,
want to.
yeah.
You don't want to
Oh,
make
yeah.
me mad at night.
That's right.
You know that.
I do.
So we had a patient. This is totally off subject. We're going to B12. Everyone knows my favorite vitamin is glutathione, but I have a lot of favorite vitamins. I've become such a nerd that I have a favorite vitamin. And then saying the word vitamin now makes me think of Vitamina Vegemin. Vitamina Vegemin from the I Love Lucy show.
Oh, that's
We
right.
only watch it every day.
Okay.
We only watch 3 shows. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna tell them. We watch. Number 1 is Seinfeld. Okay, we quote Seinfeld every day, and so do the kids. We love Seinfeld. Then we watch a lot of Impractical Jokers. But recently we are on a I Love Lucy kick, and we've been watching a lot of that. We actually don't even watch TV. It's on in the background at night, like from 9 o'clock till we fall asleep, probably.
So it's impregnated in our head.
So we dream about it probably. But yeah, we don't actually get to sit down until very late at night. But when we do, if anything is on the TV, that's what it is one of those 3 shows. So and Sophia loves I Love Lucy. So anyway, Vitamin D Vegemin, I've been watching that one. I freaking love that episode. If you have not seen it, you need to look it up. Vitamin Vegemin.
Okay.
Anyway, so vitamins, B12. So people at most, pretty much, wouldn't you say? Let's just assume everyone's B12 deficient, almost.
Well, there's different levels of deficiency. You know, we use a lot of B12 because it's used in a lot of stress. We use it for lots of stuff in our body. So it's not stored very well. So we go through quite a bit of it. We probably don't take in enough of it. So that's one of the labs when we look at vitamins, we look at B12 levels for sure. I can tell you I see people, most people's levels are low. I wouldn't say they're deficient, but they're on the lower end, where I think that increasing it would help them feel a lot better. Now, that being said, there is a subset of people who do have true vitamin B deficiencies. And they come in and they have a lot of symptoms. I mean, fibromyalgia symptoms, neck pain, headaches, shooting pains on their face. I mean, symptoms of like peripheral neuropathy. We had a person that came in who had been misdiagnosed with, I think mouth sores, but she had sores on the side of her mouth. That's called chelosis, classic of B12 deficiency, and sores inside of her mouth, and basically just felt miserable. I mean, really to the point of being incapacitating, and was given, hydrocortisone ointment for that and all other kinds of stuff. And it was a B12 deficiency. 1 shot of methylcobalamin, which is the best form of B12, fixed it. I mean, instantly started making it feel better. And within days, the chelosis was gone. So we don't typically see a lot of people with chelosis, but we do see a lot of people with all those other symptoms. And so, the medicines that we're taking are blocking absorption, blocking the function of these vitamins. So, people that are on gabapentin and all of these anti-seizure medicines, antidepressants, all of these things are inhibiting these things. So you kind of have to power over them by taking more supplements to kind of block that. So it's very, very common, very, very easy to fix.
It's a shame because it is easy to fix. But the problem is knowing that that's what the problem is.
Correct.
And nobody knows.
Yep.
That's why functional medicine doctors, if you don't live in our area and you've got to find someone, look for, wouldn't you say,
Yeah.
a functional medicine doctor. They're going to be the most probably up to date on these things and be able to help you.
Well, the reason why that is, too, is most functional medicine doctors have done something else and then have gone and seen, so they've had a pretty good, we go to these courses, they're not a lot of young people, they're mostly older doctors. And so most doctors have done something, whatever that career was, and found that, there's a lot of shortcomings in what we were doing. And there's some other things that can improve things. And so it's been a collaborative effort of different specialties saying, you know what, this doesn't work for us. This didn't work with this. How do we make it better? And what do we find? And so you'll have people, OBGYNs, primary care, urologists, all different people that are sharing information about how to improve these things that we know traditionally have not been, responded to. Just, the academy says do this, this, and this. Well, the academy's not taking care of you. And so that's the problem. So it's really been kind of interesting in that way.
So she got a shot of B12 from us.
Right, because she can't absorb it orally. So this happens to be a person that does not absorb it orally. A lot of people do absorb oral vitamins very well, but for her, she could not absorb it. So when she would take it, it just didn't do anything. So she would do shots. Well, she went to her primary. They gave her cyanocobalamin shots.
Yeah.
So cyanocobalamin is one of the B12s. There's methyl, hydroxy, and cyanocobalamin. Cyanocobalamin and hydroxycobalamin are the most prevalent because, one, they're the cheapest. But they have the least absorption and the least functionality of the B12s. So anytime you're doing vitamins, even when you're looking at oral vitamins, you want to take the methylated form, whether it's methylfolate, methylcobalamin, because that's the one that has the higher absorption. Secondly, we want that methyl component, which is the part that really helps detoxify your liver and really gives it a lot of support for breaking down these toxins. So the other ones don't do much for that. But if you're going to do it, you want to do both and get the most bang for it. If you're going to get a shot, you might as well get a shot of the stuff that's going to really work.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the problem is so many patients that have a B12 issue, their primary is writing them a prescription. They go to the pharmacy and they're getting the cyanocobalamin every single time.
Yeah. And I'll see them and I'll say, well, your B12's still low. And they're like, huh. And then I ask them.
They don't know any better. It's just a damn shame, though. It's a shame. Okay, so Recharge, OcalaClinic.com. Recharge Clinic, that's where we're from. In Ocala, Florida, we have 2 locations. One is Northwest, right? Isn't that Northwest?
Yep.
Kind of near Golden Ocala on Highway 27. The other one's on 17th Street. Come see us. Check out our Facebook, website, Twitter, and come see us.
Other is Lauren Gibson, State
yes.
Farm. Shout out to one of our sponsors.
That's
if you
right.
need insurance or any kind of evaluation or
If you don't
even
know
just
what you
quotes,
need, trust
you don't
us.
even know
You
what
need
you need.
something, go see her.
Go talk to her.
She'll tell you what you need.